In this video, I'm going to show you step by step how to write a Task 2 opinion essay. Here's a typical opinion essay question. Question from a past test paper. Today, the high sales of popular consumer goods reflect the power of advertising and not the real needs of the society in which they are sold. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Give reasons for your answer and include any relevant examples from your own knowledge or experience. Write at least 250 words. I'll be using this question to guide you through the process of planning and writing an opinion essay. 3 common mistakes. I want to quickly tell you about 3 common mistakes that students often make. 1. Not stating an opinion. There are 2 arguments for both views. And 3. Not supporting your opinion with clear reasons. The most common error is not giving an opinion. The question will clearly state that you must choose one side of the argument. If you fail to do this, you will get a low score for task achievement. It doesn't matter which side of the argument you take, or even whether you really agree with it. Choose the one that you can develop best argument for it, and make sure that you don't change your opinion partway through the essay and don't give reasons for the opposing view. Key reasons for a low score. A key reason for low scores in writing Task 2 is the failure to answer the question properly. This can cost you several band scores. Whilst your language skills may be good enough to earn you a band 7 or 8, not fully answering the question could reduce your score to band 6 or even lower. Students regularly make these 4 errors. 1. They don't spend time carefully reading and analyzing the question. 2. They fail to recognize the type of question being asked. They don't fully understand the question. And 4. They write about the general topic rather than answering the specific question. Points 2 to 4 are all consequences of point 1, which is not spending time fully reading and analyzing the question. But why don't students read Task 2 questions properly? The answer I nearly always get when I challenge students over this is that they don't have time, as they feel that they need to start writing straight away to get their essay done in the 40 minutes allowed. I would argue that you don't have time to not carefully read and answer the question. If you don't, you probably won't achieve the score you need. Fortunately, question analysis is a quick and simple process. You just need to identify 3 different types of words related to the topic words, other keywords, and the instruction words. So let's analyze our question. Here is format of Task 2 questions again. The format of Task 2 questions is always the same. You will be given a statement on the topic of general interest. The statement will be a specific point of view, problem, or argument related to the topic. You will be asked to respond to that statement. Identify the topic words. So let's analyze our question. Here is format of Task 2 questions again. The format of Task 2 questions is always the same. You will be given a statement on a topic of general interest. The statement will be a specific point of view, problem, or argument related to the topic. You will be asked to respond to that statement. Identify the topic words. We'll now identify the 3 different types of words in our question. First, the topic words. The topic words are the ones that identify the general subject of the question. So this question is asking us something about. Due to the high volume of sales of popular consumer goods, many people take this first step of the process and then write about the topic in general. This is a serious mistake and leads to low marks. What we need to do now that we know the general topic is to understand exactly what aspect of this topic. Next, identify other keywords in the statement. They tell you the specific topic you must write about. They define the opinion stated. By highlighting these words, it's easy to see that you're being asked your view on whether the high sales are due to actual needs of the consumers or the power of advertising. Your essay must only include ideas relevant to these keywords. Now for the instructions on the type of essay you should write. 25 of your marks are determined by how well you answer the question, so it's vital that you do exactly what the question asks you to do. Even if you have band 8 language skills, you could drop down several band levels. 3. Identify the instruction words for failing to follow the instructions. The instruction words are all the words that come after the question statement. Our sample question is an opinion question. It requires you to choose one side of the argument and make your opinion clear, and that's it. We've analyzed the question, and we now know exactly what we need to write about in our essay. Here are the 3 analyzed questions with different types of words highlighted together. This process of analyzing the question should take you no more than 2 minutes in the exam. Make it the first thing you do. The more you practice it before the test, the quicker and easier it will become. Opinion essay structure. Now, let's look at a simple structure you can use to write opinion essays. It's not the only possible structure, but it's the one I recommend because it's easy to learn and will enable you to quickly plan and write a high-level essay. This structure will give us a well-balanced essay with 4 paragraphs. We now need some ideas to add to the structure, and then we'll have everything we need for our essay. Pause the video and spend a few moments studying this essay structure. Next, we come to the planning stage. There are 4 reasons to take time to plan your essay. 1. It saves you time. 2. It ensures you fully answer the question. 3. It leads to a better essay structure. And 4. It results in fewer grammatical errors. Many students are reluctant to spend valuable time planning their essay, but it only takes around 5 minutes and will save you time in the long run. If you plan your essay before you start writing, you'll already know what you're going to say and won't need to keep stopping to think about the next idea. This means that you'll be able to write much faster than if you don't have a plan. Planning also ensures that you analyze the question properly and answer all parts fully, which leads to a good score for task achievement, and this contributes 25% of the overall marks. Another 25% of the marks are awarded for coherence and cohesion, which relate to the structure of the essay and the organization of your ideas into a logical order. But unless you can develop them into a well-structured essay, you will not score highly for cohesion and coherence without a plan. This is difficult to achieve. Spending a few minutes planning your essay will give you an easy-to-follow map that will take you right through from your introduction to your conclusion. The result will be a well-structured essay and a very happy examiner with your ideas and essay structure planned out before you start writing. You will have more time to focus on getting your grammar right. Fewer grammatical errors mean more marks. You should also be left with enough time at the end to check your essay for mistakes and correct them now that you understand why you must plan your Task 2 essay. We're going to look at how to plan. There are 3 important things to consider in the planning stage. Decide on your opinion. Generate ideas and choose some vocabulary to use. So the first task is to decide on your opinion. Here's the question again for this essay. I'm going to agree with the statement and argue that a high sales volume of popular consumer goods does reflect the power of advertising rather than the real needs of the society in which they're sold. The second task is to generate some ideas to write about. Since I'm going to argue that the power of advertising has a greater influence on sales volume than consumer need, I need some ideas to support this view. There are 4 techniques I recommend for thinking up ideas: brainstorming, mind mapping, the friend technique, and the example method. For this particular question, I've decided to use the example method because I immediately thought of 2 examples related to this topic. While you're practicing planning and writing an opinion essay, use a written copy of the essay structure to assist you. This will also help you remember it for the exam. Be aware that the essay structure is just a guide to help you as you plan and write. Don't struggle to fit your ideas into it. Sometimes the structure will fit perfectly with the question being asked. Other times it won't, so adapt it as needed. Before you read my ideas for this essay, you might like to brainstorm your own ideas. Here are my ideas. My main argument will be that advertisers create a story around the product. My first example would be gas guzzling. 4-wheel drive vehicles in inner cities, they are portrayed as status symbols with a story around a sense of adventure. And outdoor lifestyle, my second example is a Series 6 Apple Watch. The story here is that it gives the wearer something they want to attain. That is improved fitness. The advertisers have come up with slogans such as a new fitness experience, and the future of health is on your wrist to tell this story. So my 2 main ideas for the main body paragraphs are examples to support my view. Example 1 is the 4-wheel drive vehicles, and example 2 is a Series 6 Apple Watch. We're almost ready to start writing our essay, but first, we have one other small task to do: vocabulary. In an IELTS essay, it's important to be able to say the same things in different ways, either by paraphrasing or using synonyms. During the planning stage, quickly jot down a few synonyms of keywords that you could use. This will save you having to stop and think of the right language while you're writing. I didn't come up with many for this question. If none come to mind immediately, don't waste time trying to think of them. Here are the few words I did think of when I thought of consumer goods. Real need could be changed to actual need, and the power of advertising could be written under the influence of advertising. A good introduction has a simple three-part structure. 1 paraphrases the question, 2 gives your opinion, and part 3 states 2 supporting reasons, and it should have 2 to 3 sentences, be 40 to 60 words long, and take about 5 minutes to write. Start by paraphrasing the question. Introduction. By paraphrasing the statement's sentence of the question, the statement is that today's high sales of popular consumer goods reflect the power of advertising and not the real needs of the society in which they are sold, and this is how I've paraphrased it. There is an opinion that it is the influence of advertising rather than actual needs that fuels consumerism nowadays. Note that I've used some of the alternative vocabulary I listed, although it's fine to repeat 1 or 2 words if you need to. Above all, your language must sound natural. Give your opinion. The second sentence of the introduction is sometimes called the thesis statement in opinion essays. The thesis statement is where you state your opinion. For example, if you decide to disagree with the statement, you'd simply write, "This essay disagrees with this view." Outline sentence. Finally, in the introduction, we have the outline statement, where you outline the 2 main points that you'll cover in the rest of the essay. These are ideas 1 and 2 that you chose earlier here. I've strayed from the structure a little and just stated that I will support my argument with 2 examples, or I'll end up repeating myself too much. So my outline statement states, I will set out 2 examples where high-volume sales have been achieved by creating a desire-related story around a high-end product. So let's bring the 3 elements of our introduction together. There is an opinion that it is the influence of advertising rather than actual need that fuels consumerism nowadays. This essay agrees with this view. It will set out 2 examples where high sales volumes have been achieved by creating a desire-related story around a high-end product. This introduction achieves 3 important functions. It shows the examiner that you understand the question. It acts as a guide to the examiner as to what your essay is about. And it also helps to keep you focused and on track as you write. The 2 ideas in your introduction will now become your 2 main body paragraphs. In my first main body paragraph, I'm going to write about my first example, the 4-wheel drive vehicles in inner cities, and my second main body paragraph will be about my second example, the Series 6 Apple watching. Specifically, the paragraphs will be about the stories marketers have created around these products to generate sales. The structure of a good main body. The main body paragraph structure has 3 parts: a topic sentence, an explanation, and an example. If you can't think of an example, you can add further support. Ideas. I'll be reversing the second and third parts by introducing my example and then explaining it. As I said before, use a structure for guidance, but adapt it as necessary. A common problem when writing main body paragraphs is having too many ideas. I think I've got it about right here, but often you have to choose which ones to write about and discard others. We are now all set to start writing. You can see how important the planning stage is and how it makes the actual writing of the essay far quicker and easier. Main body paragraph 1. The topic sentence summarizes the main idea of the paragraph. That's all it needs to do. So it doesn't have to be complicated. It plays an important role in ensuring that your ideas flow logically from one to another. It does this by acting as a signpost for what's to come next. That is what the paragraph will be about. If you maintain a clear development of ideas throughout your essay, you'll get high marks for task achievement, cohesion, and coherence. We'll now take the idea for our first main body paragraph and create our topic sentence. Main idea 1 is about gas-guzzling 4-wheel drives in cities. Here's the idea summarized into a topic sentence. In most cities, there is an abundance of gas-guzzling 4-wheel drive vehicles. Pause the video anytime you want a minute or 2 to study how I've constructed the sentences we're creating. Next, we must write an explanation sentence. This explains to the examiner what we mean. It expands on our first idea. Here's my sentence. They have been designed for rural locations and are totally unsuited to inner city driving. My whole idea is an example, so I'm just going to expand on it in the rest of the paragraph. I thought of additional points in the planning stage, so I have them ready to use. These are my expansion sentences. To widen the sales demographic, advertisers target city dwellers with a sense of adventure and a hankering for country living, and portray ownership of these vehicles as a symbol of success. They give the image of someone with a successful city career, who can afford to engage in exciting rural activities in their free time. That makes the 3 parts of our first main body paragraph complete. Here's the finished paragraph. I've color-coded it to highlight the different parts. Pause the video and read it through so that you can hear how the three parts flow from one to another. We'll now follow the same process for our second main body paragraph. Main idea 2 is about the Series 6 Apple Watch. Here it is summarized as a topic sentence. The second product I have chosen to support my view is an Apple Watch Series 6, priced at £379. Next comes the explanation sentence, where I expand on this idea and explain what I mean by saying that it is not sold as a watch, but as a new fitness experience, and it has flown off the shelves since being launched, despite its large price tag again. My whole idea being an example, I now expand it with additional points from my planning notes. It can also be used to phone text and listen to music, but it is primarily marketed as a tool to improve health and is primarily marketed with the slogan, "The future of health is on your wrist." Together with photographs of fit, happy young people, the suggestion is that wearing one will make the owner fitter and healthier. But in reality, the same effort and dedication will be needed to attain a good level of fitness, whether such a watch is owned or not. But it is a powerful message that sells products. That makes the three parts of our second main body paragraph complete. Here's the finished paragraph. Pause the video again and read through it. Now I just need a conclusion and my essay is done. Conclusions to opinion essays should do two things. Summarize the main points and state your opinion. This can generally be done in a single sentence. Purpose of the conclusion. The conclusion is the easiest sentence in the essay to write, but one of the most important conclusions will neatly end the essay. Link all your ideas together. Sum up your argument or opinion, and answer the question. If you achieve this, you'll improve your score for both task achievement and cohesion and coherence, which together make up 50% of the overall marks. Without a conclusion, you'll score below band 6 for task achievement. First words. You can start almost any final paragraph of a Task 2 essay with either the words, "in conclusion" or "to conclude." Then all you need to do is briefly summarize the main ideas into one sentence. Here's a top tip. Go back and read the introduction to your essay, because this is also a summary of the essay. It outlines what you're going to write about, so to create a great conclusion, you simply have to paraphrase the introduction. This is the introduction we wrote earlier. There is an opinion that it is the influence of advertising, rather than actual need, that fuels consumerism nowadays. This essay agrees with this view. It will set out two examples where high sales volumes have been achieved by creating a desire-related story around a high-end product. And here's the same information formed into a conclusion. In conclusion, there is clear evidence to support the argument that consumerism is driven by clever advertising, rather than basic need. Advertisers achieve this by developing a story around a circumstance that the would-be purchaser wants to achieve. Pause the video and spend a few moments comparing them. Note how I paraphrase the information and use synonyms. That's it, we've completed our essay. Here it is, with the 4 paragraphs put together. I'll leave you to read through the whole essay yourself if you want to go through this lesson as many times as you need to, in order to fully understand it, and then put in lots of practice writing opinion essays from past exam questions. Take your time at first, and gradually speed up until you can plan and write an essay of at least 250 words in 40 minutes. Practice is the only way to improve your skills. If you found this lesson helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you don't miss any of my future video lessons. And do share it with other IELTS students you know for even more help. Thank you for watching.